If you grew up in the 90s, you lived in arguably the best time to have toys and games. This week, we're going to share some memories and talk about some of our favorites. Be sure you bring your nostalgia with you.
It's morphin' time. Pour the coffee.
Well, top of the mustache to you, and welcome to a special live episode of Mustaches and Coffee, where the topic goes. Nobody knows. I'm Isaac.
Hey, I'm Ben.
And we're glad to have all you mustache and coffee lovers with us. Ben, so great to see you. How are you, my friend?
Oh, good. How are you?
Oh, it's been you know what? We complain about this weather and how it just is cold. It's been a cold and damp day, but I can't complain because here we are. I'm so happy to be here with you and be live. So we have already someone in the comments there already overbooked. Hello, big shout out to you. Like I was saying, I'm cold and wet. I hope you're doing good already. Overbooked, but thank you for joining. Thank you for having some fun with us. That's what I'm looking forward to. How about you, Ben? What are you looking forward to?
Just being able to get together and talk about some 90s toys and already overbooked. I'm sorry you're already overbooked. So but yeah, we're excited to have all that who join us and talk about some nostalgia stuff, and we have a big announcement at the end. I'll just leave it at that.
That's it. That's right. You're gonna have to stay tuned. You know, it's a big announcement. I don't feel like we hype stuff up as much as we do, but this is a big one. I'm just gonna say. So you don't want to miss it. And we got some more comments here. We got Buster's Garage. Hello. Thank you for joining. Good to see you on here. We also
Hey.
have looks like Ajax as well. Hello, Ajax. Thank you for
Yo,
joining. This
yo.
is gonna be a fun time. We got comments coming in. We'll try and throw the overlay up here. Maybe we'll see whenever you comment, we'll give you a shout out. So again, we're just so excited. This is like up in our wheelhouse. If you haven't already heard when you listen to our episodes, we're 90s kids, like a lot of people. So this is kind of in our wheelhouse, so to say. So feel free to join in on the discussion on the comments, any memories you have or toys that we're leaving out, because let's face it, we're not going to be able to get to every single toy. We're just going to be able to touch on a few. So I think we're ready to jump into this, Ben. I'm so excited. I'm pumped for this. So what's a first one that you want to throw out there of a toy or game that you have fond memories of from the 90s?
So it's actually a toy that I remember going to a place where I grew up in Ohio, a little small town called Lebanon. There was a place called Odd Lots, and I don't know if it was with like Big Lots. There's Odd Lots and Big Lots. I don't know if it was connected or was its own separate store. But I remember going in there in the 90s and I saw a dinosaur.
Hmm.
And, I'm really big into dinosaurs ever since Jurassic Park, and, dinosaurs were huge in the 90s.
Oh yeah.
There was a brand called Extreme Dinosaurs, and sad part is I saw it at a vintage toy store, make you feel old, just down the street, and it's like $30 now. Uh,
Oh
but yeah,
wow.
that's one of my first toys I had for a long time.
So that was how much was it at the time? You said it's $30 now?
Yeah, I remember I think it was like $8.99 if I can remember, and that was back in the like
Hmm.
mid 90s. So it's kind of pricey, probably like $20 in today's money maybe.
Maybe that's inflation though. Maybe it's about the same price. I don't
Could
know.
be.
Real quick too, Ajax has enjoy the highlight font. Thank you. Yeah,
Yeah.
try to get something a little more eye popping there. So give you a little shout out. But we have. Do you want to play the commercial for this toy you're talking about?
Let's do it.
Okay, here we go. Without further ado, let's get it all set up and squared away.
Uh, 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 uh.
Oh, that's
So
terrific.
I had T-Bone. Basically, he was a jacked dinosaur that had like chains around his biceps.
That's great. Oh,
Yeah.
man, that was so 90s too. Like, I
Oh, yeah.
think the cup industry was booming in the 90s because every toy was always placed on a cup and it was getting shot down and fall, that's like screaming 90s. That's so great. Yes, and Buster's Garage says Odd Lots and Big Lots were connected. So, there you go, Ben. They were pretty much the same. I think it's kinda like your Walmart, Super Walmart, like you said. That's kinda how it was. And we got
I think they were
Ajax.
because, like,
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think later on the Odd Lots got traded out to a Big Lot, so I don't see any Odd Lots anymore. I know most of the Big Lots I think closed recently.
That sounds right. Yeah, it was just back in the '90s, and then they just made it into one, so that makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah, Ajax, those are some scary toofs. Okay. Yes, yes, big shout out there, already overbooked. '90s commercials are the best. We're gonna share some more, so stay tuned.
Yes.
That's just getting
We got
things
plenty.
started. That's so '90s for Buster's Garage. It is totally the '90s, absolutely. So, it made me wanna buy it. I don't know about you, like, I was pumped. I was like, "Yeah, yeah, I'm gonna buy me some of these dinosaurs that" they aren't gonna work as
Or
well.
just rip.
Yeah, they just rip or break, but
Yes.
I don't care. It was a great commercial, so well, I'll throw out mine
Yep.
because I was thinking toys, games. My list probably has a lot of games on it, but I remember the action figures like you, but I have to put on from the '90s Crossfire. It is when when I
Oh,
think
yeah.
'90s toys, it's just there. And we talked about it on I think it was Commercial Jingles episode of
Yeah.
that Crossfire song. It is so catchy. It
Mhm.
is just, you know, it gets stuck in your head. I can't help it. It's just one of those things. I never owned it, but I remember being at friend's house or others that had it, and we would, you're kids, you're fighting over like, oh no, I want to play it and all that, and it's just always stuck in my head. So yes, I have to. Without further ado, I'm going to get this pulled up, but let's enjoy this commercial in all its glory because, in my opinion, this is like if you're thinking '90s. I mean, it's right there. So let me get it pulled up. I feel so old. Like, where's that button to put this on?
Ancient.
Here we go. All right, here we go.
Time in the future. The ultimate challenge. Crossfire.
Yeah.
Huh.
Crossfire. Everybody.
Huh.
Crossfire.
Crossfire. You'll get caught up in it.
Huh. I could do that all day.
I I just always remember that kid going, "Yeah, yeah!" Like,
Overzealously. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I guess that if it meant like fire or winning a game, I would be that excited too. I don't know. That's that's what I remember too. It goes along with the theme song. The yeah, yeah. Let me get the comments up here.
Got some
We're
comments,
getting them
yeah.
streaming in here.
There
Let
we
me
go.
throw that up so everybody can see it better. Oh yes. Yes, overbooked. If you lived in the '90s, you had to remember Crossfire. That's oh yeah. I don't know, Ajax. Were they really that much cooler than you? They were pretty
Mm.
cool, I will say. Yes, yes, love it, love it. Buster's Garage. So many memories though with Crossfire. It's just a memorable game. Maybe it's just a bunch of marbles that get thrown into the game and you just kind of shoot them around, but it looks so cool on TV. As a kid, it was just like you were like that kid. Yeah. You wanted to really get into it. So, that's one of my picks. How about you, Ben? What's another one? Let's keep this train going.
Yeah, before I I just have to say before I get to my next one, it is funny that so many cartoon or, commercials, I should say, in the '90s was like this thing, you can do anything. You can destroy a building. You can like you felt indestructible when you got this toy, and then sometimes when you got it, you just looked at it like this isn't as fun as I remember. I don't know if anybody on the comment reel feels that way. Any comments they have on that, but so my next one is moon shoes.
Ah, yeah.
I I think they banned them later on because a lot of kids were breaking their ankles or tripping or having injuries, but it's like basically trampolines for your feet and you just bounce around. Those are really, really fun.
Oh, yes, the 90s. Dangerous things that, yeah,
Oh yeah.
lawsuits.
Yep.
You didn't have so much of the recall going on. You just got sued. So now you have like a lot more protection. It seems like nowadays you don't hear about that, but I really do remember that what you're talking about of parents. It was
Mhm.
all over the news of they had to take them away because it makes sense if you're causing all this injury. I recall those being on. Do you remember Nickelodeon Guts? That
Yeah.
was an actual event, like, a part of it was being moon shoes and to run across the track.
Mhm.
So
Oh, yeah.
that's what I remember. A lot of Nickelodeon, was a part of my childhood, my 90s too, but that's what I think of with the moon shoes. So I
Now we have to do the Guts themed
oh,
song
that's
though.
right.
Do you have
"Do
it?
you have it? Guts." My kids hate that. I'll hum it to myself sometimes. They're like, "Stop it!" And I'm like, "It's a great theme." I don't know if it just gets catchy in their head.
I was obsessed with that show.
Yes, it's a classic. We're talking about toys and games,
Oh
but
yeah,
that is technically games, so we'll throw it in there.
technically, yeah.
Okay. Well, I got the video pulled up. Shall I share the video so we can kinda get an idea of
Let's do it.
what we had no idea the injuries these things would be causing?
Moon shoes, moon shoes. Hip-hop and anti-gravity shoes. Moon shoes, moon shoes. Jumping up and down like a kangaroo. Moon shoes. Jump straight to the moon with shoes that defy gravity. Kid power and fun is a certainty. Moon shoes. The anti-gravity shoes. Moon shoes. A mini-sized trampoline. Those shoes defy gravity. Jump to the moon. It's a necessity. How high can you jump with moon shoes? New moon shoes. Mini-sized trampolines for your feet from Big Time Toys. Each set sold separately.
Be there.
Be there. I do have to say when I rewatched the commercial before we did this episode, it's funny if you look at the segments of that commercial, some looked like they were from the 90s and some looked like they were made like yesterday. Like I don't know what the deal is, but it's just yeah.
Yeah, some things don't age as well. Yeah,
Yeah.
that might be one that doesn't. Uh, no, that's a memorable one. So 90s once again, just those commercials. So we got oh wow, Ajax, you don't remember what dimension is this? It was the 90s. You don't remember moon shoes. Wow. That's the first time I've heard someone say they don't
Yeah.
remember 'em. Those were everywhere. Wow. I don't know. Did you have an accident in them and that gave you memory loss? Maybe that's what happened. I hope
He
not.
was
I
injured in
really
a
hope not.
moonshine
Yeah, I
accident.
really hope not. But yeah, they were everywhere. Wow. That's great. Oh, and then we got the Buster's Garage. Yeah. I knew some kids that had them too. And it was just kinda like a fad. It's like you used them and thought they were cool at first, and then they just kinda I don't know, they just kinda disappeared, but that was probably the lawsuits that did that, I would imagine, so
Oh, I'm sure.
well, my next one, I think a lot of people knew this one. I'm gonna throw in the mix an actual action figure this time. Like I said, I've got kind of on the game side heavy, but this one is one that was everywhere, and that was Stretch Armstrong. It's the
Yeah.
arms you'd pull apart, and it was just everywhere. I remember kids would fight over it. It was kind of ironic because then he'd pull the, arms apart and do all that kind of funny stuff with them. But, yeah, do you remember having a Stretch Armstrong?
I think I did later on. If I remember, my dog got a hold of it, and there was just nothing but like teeth marks missing out of it.
How fitting. That's
Yep.
I think that's what was causing concern with parents is it was, not good for dogs, and it had, like, the chemicals
Yeah.
inside, so but here,
Oh yeah.
I can go ahead and share the commercial in all its glory on this as well. And once again, I feel like an old person. Let me get this button. So thanks for bearing with us on our very slow reaction on getting these pulled up.
Help! We've been robbed!
Stop! Stop, evildoers!
Introducing super stretching superhero Stretch Armstrong. Yes, Stretch Armstrong. Now stretching fun farther than ever before. He bends, he stretches, even ties and knots, but always returns to his original shape.
How's he do that?
He's been doing that since he was a kid. Stretch Armstrong from Cap Toys. Who else?
Who else?
Who else? I thought that kid was gonna get hit in the face. He had that thing
Yeah.
like stretched up. Like, wait for it, pow!
And that was the concern. You're going to break the thing. As durable as it was, it could be broke. It was definitely possible. I remember some kids doing that. Let's see. We have Buster's Garage. Yeah, talking about the moon shoes reminds me of the LA Gear light up shoes. They were. That is right. Let's see. We got Ajax too. Sorry, catching up on the comments. Keep them coming though. I never had one, but I do remember Stretch Armstrong and a band called Stretch Armstrong. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So that's great. But yeah, that's what I have. So what's another one? Let's just keep this going. There's so many we could get to here.
So another one was a super soaker, but this was not your normal, ordinary super soaker. Again, like my other toys, this one was actually recalled because kids were getting injured. So the super soaker was like, I want to say probably like 2.5 feet long, maybe a little bit bigger. And you would pump this thing up all the way till it hit like the very end of it. And you would shoot out all the water that's in it at once. It was just, and it had like a, what do you call that? Pullback.
Yeah, kickback. Yeah.
I can't think of the word. Kickback. Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, so a memory I have with it, and I feel bad about it. So I actually was out with a neighbor kid, and it was like 45 degrees outside, and we were playing with it and everything. Kickback, yeah, thank you, Buster's Garage. Anyways, he ends up like soaking me with it, and I got so mad, and I punched him square in the face. And his name was Jesse. So Jesse, if you happen to see this, I am sorry. But we made up and everything. Everything was fine afterwards. But yeah. So anyways, when I think of the super soaker, I just think of like decking this kid. Like
you built this story up like, it was cold and we were gonna, and I socked the guy. Like I was not expecting
pretty much
the story to go that far. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, I'll know not to do that to you if we're out in the cold to pour water on you or use a super soaker. But okay, well, here's the commercial for it. So let's see what they were offering back then in the 90s.
Bottom of the ninth. Bases loaded, full house. Talk about pressure. That's not pressure. This is pressure. The Super Soaker CBS constant pressure system.
Yes, I owned one too. Yes.
Did you?
The other one, not that one there.
I had the 2500.
Okay. I might have had the 1500. It wasn't as big. Or maybe there wasn't. Maybe it was 2500.
Yeah, I think I had the smaller one, and still that had a lot of to it. But yeah, what's crazy is that one it showed. I never had it, but you could have a backpack full of water, and it was just constant.
Oh yeah.
I looked it up recently, the super soaker, and those are going for like $100 on eBay.
Wow. I could see that though. They were big. I mean, you said super soaker, that specific one. I was like, I don't remember that one, but when I saw the commercial, I think it was the 2500. It's like, oh yeah, I had one of those, and unfortunately, I was outdone every time I'd go to like a playground. Like you're talking about the backpack. There was always a kid with a backpack, and he just went around and would soak everybody. So, I gotta throw up Ajax here. Those baseball players are zanier than the Savannah Bananas. That's a good nod to the Savannah Bananas. That's a different baseball league They're like Harlem Globetrotters for baseball. So nice nod there. They are zanier.
And Buster's Garage says, Ben, yeah, I shouldn't have punched that kid. That was bad of me.
But we know now, don't tick off Ben with
Yes.
cold winter and water on you. That's not gonna fly.
I hate everything.
He'll deck you if you don't respect him not to get him wet in
Yeah.
the cold. So okay. Well, moving on from Super Soakers, this is one that is still living rent-free in my head, the theme song. Because that's what the 90s was. It was just theme songs to go along with these toys. But it's Skip It. It was the game that was, you have to jump over. It's like jump rope with yourself, kind of an idea, but you had a ticker on this ball that would go around. And I recall in the recess, playground, whatever, kids fighting over this toy as well. I was around a lot of kids that fought over stuff, I guess. I don't know. That's something about the 90s I remember is these toys were so awesome that you had to have them. But yeah, I remember playing with those a lot. Do you remember playing with those at all?
A little bit. I think so. I got to think on it.
Big shout out to Ajax. Yes, there's a counter on this ball. That's right. That's right.
Yeah, I remember my sister had one actually. Now that I think of it.
It's like you had some kind of run-in with it. Somebody had it, you had it, or they had it at school, whatever place you would go. Yes, the very best thing of all. That's right. Let's just go ahead and play the commercial because we could quote that all day. It's a very catchy theme song. Like I said, it is living rent-free in my head. So let's go ahead and get that played.
Hey now kids, come get around. See what just skipped into town. So skip it, skip it. Do run, do
Skip
jump,
it.
do hop.
Everybody.
Skip it, skipping and a screaming and a bop to bop. But the very best thing of all, there's a counter on this ball. So try to beat your very best score. See if you can jump a whole lot more. Skip it, skip it. Come on everybody, skip it. Roaring good fun from Tiger Toy.
Come on, everybody, skip it.
Yeah, I have a theory behind that.
Oh, yes?
So a lot of things in the 90s was let's try to get our kids to be active. So, hey, just put this thing on their leg. They'll get exercise.
I wouldn't doubt it.
And it worked.
Yeah, I think you're onto it because that was one of those gimmicky, like, oh, it gets you active, but it would give you a workout. When you would do it, you get to about, at least for me, 50 on the counter, man, you were about winded. It really did. At least I was a overweight, out of shape kid too. So, oh yes.
Maybe we'll see that at a gym soon. Everybody's doing the skip it.
Very nice, Ajax. Yes, he was going to buy one, but he decided to skip it. That's right. Yes, Buster's Garage. It's still stuck in my head today. It's stuck. There. That's a more true statement than I've read right there. That it will literally get stuck in your head forever. There's no getting it out. So yes. Oh man, but it's still catchy. At least could be worse things that get stuck in your head. But
true.
All right, Ben, hit us with another one. What you got?
All right, the next one is Real Fishing. They had two different versions. It's a little fishing pole that's yay big, and you would just hit a button, and you would act like you're cranking in a rail line from a fishing pole, and it would change, and you were trying to catch these fish. They had like the basic one, and then later on they had a digital one, and you just do this all day. My arm's still sore from it, but just do that and try to catch these fish. Called Real Fish.
Interesting. I don't think I've ever heard of that before. That's one I've missed. So far, each one of these that you've mentioned, I've known or like, yeah, I've had a friend or whatever, but this one I'm not recalling. So, but okay. Well, it looks like everybody else in the let's see. Buster's Garage, he says that he remembers it well. So we got one that's with you there, Ben. And Ajax, I remember Real Fishing as well as the band Real Big Fish. Very
I
nice.
do have to say before we do this commercial, just prepare yourself. It's a little disturbing.
Oh boy. Okay. You're making me nervous with that. Okay, I'll go ahead and play it. Here we go.
Billy, you ready for some real fishing today? Real fishing hooks everything from bottom feeders.
Oh.
The only rod and reel with
You remember now?
Now oh yes. Yes.
This is the disturbing part. Wait for it. Wait for it.
Come to Papa, baby. You got a
Here it is.
for that thing, sir. Real fishing, the only one with rod bending action.
Screams 90s for sure. Wow. Wow. That
Yeah,
was 90s.
that fish. I remember the first time I saw that commercial, and I was like, "Ah, that fish is terrifying."
Wow. So what was the like it showed like the different steps. Like what did you have to do to get to the bigger level? Just crank it harder or what?
You know, to be fun, be honest, I don't remember exactly what you had to do. That one I didn't
Huh.
have. I had the like later version that was digital. And you just like would set your bait or do something different. I kind of forget exactly how it works, but we got a comment from Buster's Garage. It's pretty funny.
Go ahead and read it if you see it there.
It says, "Wow, so dumb." Again, it's a
There we go.
workout. They're trying to work out the kids, Do that while you're doing the skip it,
That would be a skill. You know what? Maybe we should make a video on that. You're
Yeah.
trying to get a high score on that and skip it at the same time.
Yes. And then your
That would be
other foot has a moon shoe. You're bouncing.
You have to do skip it in moon shoes
That would be awesome.
while doing Oh, that I hand it to anybody that could pull that off. I don't know. I will laugh at them if they fail miserably because I know I would for sure. That's
New world
hilarious.
record. Guinness Book of World Records. That's popular in the 90s. There we go.
That's true. We're gonna have to do some research, see if
Yes.
somebody's actually attempted that. And if not, we could set a new record. We could actually.
Yeah.
I like it. So this one is another theme song that was stuck in my head. I've got all these ones to go by. I'm gonna throw it in to kind of mix it up because, like I said, I had a lot of games on my list. This one was kind of like easy bake for boys, I guess. It was called Creepy Crawlers.
Oh,
And
yeah.
you couldn't eat it. I don't think you could, but you would pour like a gack looking mold into this oven and it would come out. It'd be like these little insects, or I think there was a bat or something. But I just remember that theme song. The commercial would get stuck. Another one that would get stuck in my head lives probably rent free, not as much as Skip It, but it's definitely there. And yeah, do you remember those, or did you ever have one?
I had one. If I remember, it was like that, but it was actually edible. They had like candy you could pour and it would
Okay.
bake it, and then you could peel it off. Creepy crawlies or something. I think there were worms like in a little mold. They
Yeah,
tasted kind of bad and probably not really good for you.
probably not. Are you sure they were the edible ones? Because I thought they weren't, but
Mm.
maybe.
Well, that's would explain a lot of stuff that has happened over my my life.
You have creepy crawlers inside of you, and still to this day.
Yeah.
Oh, if you've never heard of this before, you're probably like, "What are you talking about?" So let's play the commercial just so be a little bit of a refresher, and maybe it'll say if they were edible, but I don't recall them.
They're squirmy and purple and green. The grossest little creatures that you've ever seen.
Creepy crawlers.
Build a monster mold with the colored plastic goop.
Somebody
and
eat
make a
'em.
creepy crawler from a yellow monster soup. They're ucky, yucky, squirmy, wormy, very
It's okay. Just stick it into your mouth. Chew on it.
Creepy crawlers.
Gross out your sister. Embarrass your dad. You can be a little creep with
Embarrass your dad.
Creepy crawlers workshop with plastic goo.
Wait a minute. Wait a
Oh.
minute. Wait a minute. Was it me or did that guy look exactly like the dad from Don't Wake Daddy, the board game?
Oh, you know what? It might be.
I was like,
I
wait a minute.
I don't have that handy, but I could if that's a pick that we have that we wanna throw in there, maybe we can look up the video, see if we can get it. I don't know. I don't know if we
Maybe
will
not.
be able to. That you have a point. Yes, I think that was if not, they just, I don't know, they had a similar actor or something for
Yeah.
sure. That's
Maybe did
hilarious.
both. Who knows?
So, okay. Well, what else have you got there, Ben? Unless we're let's see.
Yeah, we
Hang on,
got
we got
one
some
comment.
comments. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Go ahead and read them if you see them there, Ben.
Ajax says, I used to love it back then when the kids ruled the house and the parents were so dumb. Yep. So dumb. And Buster's Garage says, don't wake daddy.
That's a classic. I don't have the commercial pulled up, but that's one I remember with the board game, and it would like fling his hat, nightcap, or whatever at you if he woke up. So that's a
There we
great
go. We
one.
got to play that. And then Moonshoe, do a bunch of other stuff. Do it all at the same time.
Now I'm getting a headache. Wow. I don't know how we're gonna keep up with it. So
Oh, and then Buster's Garage said earlier, also while being blasted with water. So yeah, we have to do all that stuff.
oh yes. So skip it with moon shoes and doing the fishing game while being blasted with a super soaker. I like it.
World
That's
record. There we go.
if that's not a circus or festival act, if I've never seen one, I don't know what is. So all right. Well, what's another one you got there, Ben?
So the next one I have is Pogs. Those little milk carton containers. I think it started as milk cartons, and
Mm.
kids in the 90s, we were obsessed with it. I had tubes of them, and I just remember my slammer was silver. I don't remember what was on it, but super heavy. And I the commercial that we have on this, I had to find a different commercial because I felt like this commercial might cause seizures because it's just constant flashing. So I just got a different one that's Pogs related. But anyways, yeah, Pogs.
Okay. Well, I'll go ahead and play it because I everything you said, that's what it was I remember about Pog. So let's go ahead and reminisce about this was a huge fad in the 90s.
Oh
Absolutely.
yeah.
The hot new Pog Milk Camp sweeping the nation. And you can get everything you need to play here at MJ Designs.
Well, how do you play?
Well, first you stack a bunch of these Pog Milk Caps right here. And then you slam them
Gosh.
with one of these. Here, let
Shut
me
up,
see.
little kid.
I've got my own special slammer.
I am a cheater.
Here's my MJ
Just-
Design Slammer. If you're in the Pog, you're in a MJ Designs.
Stop it, you're hurting me. Come back. I need to slam it.
Yeah. Like he had picked up the giant one, just slammed it on the table.
How much of a jerk move was that? That's like wow. Oh man. Oh
You always say
wow.
play for
Well,
keeps or not. I won all my Pogs. Yay! You know,
oh yes. Yeah, Ajax, it was uber trendy. Yes. Yes. That was it was everywhere. Like you could not avoid it. Yes, Buster's Garage. Yep, Pogs. Yep. So I think everybody remembers that. I can tell from the comments alone, but very nice there, Ajax. Yes. The commercial seems very realistic. It was very realistic. So, well, this is one more at least that I have that I was going to throw into the mix, and it is a game. Like I said, I got to go with this one, but it was Bop It. It was
Yep.
the 90s Simon, and I just remember that commercial so well. Did you have one?
yeah, that's funny because I thought about this earlier, and yet Bop It is another one that is actually sells for quite a bit on eBay. Yeah,
Really?
I've sold one or two, I think.
How much did they sell for, if you don't
I
mind me
got
asking? I'm
a
surprised at
used
that.
one and tested it out, and I think it went for like $30. But if you find them new in package, I think they go for like 60 to 80.
Wow, interesting. Well, it's something of a
Oh
collectible
yeah.
for sure if it was back in the '90s, so that's it kinda makes sense, but still regardless. Here's the commercial though, because that's what I remember most. I don't remember having one, and again, somebody would have it, and I played it for maybe a few minutes. I kinda get bored with it, but I remember the commercial being really funny, or at least very memorable, so let's take a
Wanna
look.
play Bop It? It commands you obey.
Bop it.
Twist it. Pull it.
Tap it.
If you can't keep up,
Twist it.
you lose. Once you get your hands on Bop It, you're not gonna want to stop it. Fast talking electronic Bop It. Batteries not included.
Battery's not included.
Ah.
That goes with
So do you have any Bop It
that goes
memories?
with all. Uh, I I was not very good at it. So I remember that little screaming that whenever you'd fail. But didn't they make a different one too? There was like a you had to hold it and it had 2 or 3 more things on it. Am I remembering
Yeah,
that
so
right?
there's one that was like a trigger, you had to push it up and it was white. You had handles on it and you could twist it. There's like 4 different ones you could do. And then I think later on they came out with the Bop It where it had like a cup on top and you had to catch something in it. Yeah,
Really?
I kind of forget what that one's
Huh.
called. But all I remember is like in school in the 90s, whenever it was raining outside, they bought like they probably had like 50 different Bop Its that they would just put in the gym. We'd go over and every kid was playing Bop It, so you just heard Bop It, twist it. The whole like gym filled with that.
Oh, it's a
Oh
teacher's
yeah.
nightmare. That just sounds like a
Yep.
migraine happening. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, go back to Buster's Garage there, give me a shout out. I got to find my Pogs. I
Oh,
have some.
nice.
That's awesome you still have them.
We're gonna have to
That's
play that.
great.
So Pogs, skip it. We're gonna have to do all these 90s things and then film it for everybody's
Yes, get
entertainment.
a list going here because I think we're gonna leave something out, but that would be an absolute joy to watch someone attempt to do that, I think.
Yep.
So, well, I think we kinda touched on, a lot of different things from the '90s. Again, we could go on and on and on. I wanna give a shout out, um, really quick here. Somebody had mentioned Legos, and I think that was a specific one, but is there anything, maybe an honorable mention, just that you can think of that we didn't touch
Yeah,
on,
sure.
Ben?
So actually I have some of these back here. I actually of
There
all
you
the
go.
toys I could find, I actually had this Spider-Man. It's when, if I remember correctly, he turned into the human spider. I bought this somewhere, and it has the date 1995. So I've had this since I was a little kid. I had this one also when I was a little kid, but I found this one more recently because who knows what happened to the original one. And then behind me, we have a Chuck E. Cheese Easy Bake Oven that I found,
Oh, there you
and it
go.
and it works.
Awesome. We've talked about using that for an episode, like taste testing things. We're gonna have
Oh
to
yeah,
think of a way to use that
for
though.
sure.
Like, is a Hot Pocket better in a Chuck E. Cheese easy or microwave or something like
Sorry,
that?
I'm laughing. Dude, like, all right, what's better? Which burns your mouth more, in this one or in the microwave?
Yes. Let's see. Ajax has yes. So remember when Legos were affordable?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and who mentioned that? That was Tim. He messaged. So big shout out to Tim there
Yeah,
about
thanks, Tim.
Legos. Yes. That did kind of go through the decades, but there's different versions even today. My kids are getting into Legos themselves, but they're in the modern. And yes, I have to take out a second mortgage
Gosh,
just to get a set for them. So
$50 for
it's
a box. I'm like, it's this big.
it's just crazy. That was kind of the affordable
Yeah.
toy back in the day. Back in my day, that was like here's some Legos. Just go use your imagination, have fun, and it was cheap. But now it's like 3, 4, 500 pieces that you have to assemble an exact way, which is cool. Don't get me wrong. I'm kind of jealous of those. Like, I wish I had those back then, but I don't know. Just keeps it simple is what I'd say. So, okay. I think we covered about everything. Anything else that you wanted to add there, Ben, just to make sure if we forgot anything?
That's pretty much all I can think of now. I'm sure I'll think of others later on. And if you guys have any toys that you liked that was in the 90s, feel free to comment.
Yeah. Yeah. Be sure to message us still. We'll give you a shout out if it's next episode or whatnot. But thank you for all the comments and keep them coming. We're going to start wrapping things up here, but be sure to comment. We'll give you some shout outs as we do. So before we do wrap things up, let's go ahead and move into our last segment.
Last drop.
Brought to you by Contempa Roast Coffee and Roastery. Visit our store or our site at contemparoast.com today.
Take it away,
A
Ben.
slang term for money is sometimes called cheddar. A man must have been confused when he stole 24 tons of cheddar cheese, valued at $390,000. The man simply pretended to be a wholesale distributor and somehow over time stole the large amount. The man has been arrested. So don't do the crime if you can't do the time, because if you go to jail, that's not Gouda. That's what I got.
Oh, you just wonder sometimes. That's where we're at. People stealing cheese.
Yeah.
Of all things, cheese. That's just, I don't know. I don't know what else to say to that.
A lot of cheddar.
A lot of cheddar, yes. But and what doesn't surprise us anymore, right? It's just like, yeah, I don't know what else to say to that. But thank you, Ben.
Yeah, Ajax does say that was cheesy. Yep. Here comes the cheese puns.
So yeah, I guess cheese shops be on high alert because somebody's tried it and they might be coming for you. So be sure you've got your security systems and all that stuff in place.
I do have to say there was a guy I showed a guy at work this last drop segment beforehand. He came up with a wonderful name for this thief, the Limb Burglar. So shout out to him.
Yes. Good shout out to them. That's a good one. I'll give you kudos for that. Very nice. So, well, thank you, Ben, for that, as always. So you're probably wondering, okay, what's this big announcement we have going on? So without further delay, Ben, would you like to do the honors and say what this big announcement is?
All right. So we have more. So you can go out and
that's right.
Buy mustaches and coffee gear stuff.
That's it. And here you go. I'm going to make it a little snazzy. If you scan that QR code, you can go to our shop right now. We'll have the link in our show notes once this is all finished. Because again, we're live. So, we're still figuring out technology. But I did do that. I got a QR code for you. So all those handy dandy ones with your cell phones or tablets, there you go. You can go to our store now. And announcement on that is it's 10% off right now. So if you want to get that gear, now's the time to do it because for our grand opening of the store, you get 10% off. So there you go. You can get things like this, a hat that's in the store. I've got my own custom one, but you can get this one. There's a few other hats on there as well. Check that out. I've got a few of them with me right here. You can get your own Yugo shirt right there for you. It's even got the Mustaches and Coffee podcast. You can rock it and represent it for it. So we've had some requests for merch, so we're happy to put it out there. And thank you so much to all of our subscribers, all of our followers, and for the request. One saying, "Hey, do you have a store? I would like to buy something." Thank you so much because here we are. We're two, just having fun guys. I don't know, laid back guys. I don't know what to say. We're just having fun, but here we are. We have an online store. How are you feeling, Ben?
I'm super excited. It's a long time coming. It's just exciting to see the logo. And go back to the episode where this logo came about. with Hugo. He was able to draw this on screen, and we now have the rights to it. So it's just amazing.
Absolutely. I'm still blown away by it. And that's one of my favorite episodes just for how much fun we had. I look back on it like that was just a fun
Oh yeah.
episode. But yeah, that is where Yugo was born. You could see Yugo being born on that episode and being drawn and it's just awesome again that we have an online store. I'm still kind of like this is pretty awesome. Now, I do have one more announcement. And I will admit not even Ben knew about this. So this is going to be a live reaction for Ben as well. But yes, we have an online store. We have, hats, shirts, you can get your own Yugo mug, that type of thing. But it's a limited release. You can also get mustaches and coffee.
What?
Coffee.
Are you serious?
That's right. You can
Oh my
get
goodness.
the Yugo.
I didn't.
Yes.
I
And
seriously did not know anything about that.
no, I kept it even from Ben. This was top secret stuff. So you can get your own mustaches and coffee. It's going to be a
That's
limited
awesome.
release. It's not on the store because I wanted to keep it from Ben. So stay tuned. It'll be up there soon. Right now it's not going to be available, but be sure to check it out because you can have your own mustaches and coffee. It is Columbia style. And speaking of, I have some in my mug right now. I'm sipping on it. So good stuff. What do you think, Ben? That's a news to you too.
I'm speechless. That's awesome. And Buster's Garage says what with question mark?
Yes. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't see the comments coming through. Throw them up there. So yeah, there's Ajax. Yeah. It is coffee coffee cup flavored coffee. Wouldn't that be interesting?
Glove flavored.
Very, very nice. Oh yes. Let me see here. Oh, we got all these comments. Sorry, we've been neglecting you. We got so excited on announcing it. So yes, we've got a great selection going on there. Oh, I'm sorry. We got Galaga Guy in there too. So big shout out to you, Galaga Guy. I'm sorry that he said that his notifications didn't work. Let me throw that up there. So that's all right. That's okay. We'll be able to watch it back at least. But there we go. There's Buster's Garage. What reaction? That's what we're hoping to get is a fun reaction. And yeah. And here's Galaga Guy too. We want to make sure we get to all these comments. So make the coffee and put it in one of your cups. Yep, I did not get one of our cups. Isn't that bad? That was so ill prepared on my part. So I should have had that ready. So my fault. But I at least have the coffee. So that's what's going on. And Ajax as well. Columbia. Okay, good. Medium roast is all I can handle. Yeah, it's not like a dark roast. It actually says it's kind of more on the roast level. It's really cool. Yeah, it's got the things on there. I don't know if you can read that or not, but yeah, check this out. Like I said, it's not up there yet, but just stay tuned. We'll have it available. So excited. Great to see all these comments, guys. Thank you so much for that. Yes, we are excited to be sharing this with you.
That's awesome.
I don't think we'll have K-Cups, Ajax. I don't know about that. So yeah. Anything else to add there, Ben? You're just kind of like in shock
I am.
over there.
I'm
I don't
just
know.
like I don't know. It's just I'm speechless. It's just very exciting and exciting to see where we can continue to grow this podcast and everything. I was just excited.
Yes. And forgot to mention if you're jumping in too, make sure you're subscribed because we can open the store up too. We've got some options on there, but we might be expanding to more of what you guys want. Be sure to message us like, hey, is there a type of hat that you like or shirt, different accessories? Absolutely. We'll be able to add them on there if their demand is there. We just kind of wanted to get this launched to you. We had some requests about it. So this is for you guys. So thank you again so much. We can't thank you enough. We're just really excited to be able to launch this. So anything else to say or in closing then, Ben?
Again, just thanks everybody for subscribing to us. And again, if you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe. We would greatly appreciate that, and just super excited again to see all these other products come out.
Absolutely. And give a shout out here to Galaga Guy. I wish I grew it myself. It'd be really fresh for you guys. That'd be awesome. I don't know. We'd have to get a little closer to the equator, especially on a day like today. There's no way I'm going to get some coffee beans
I
growing.
think
Not in
if
my back.
anybody saw the episode a while back with Contemporaroast, you see I made a giant coffee bean with a mustache. I think if we grew it, I think all our coffee beans would have little tiny mustaches on them. So
This is true. We'd have to have a custom coffee bean going on there. So we've got. Thank you again, Galaga Guy, and thank you,
thank
Ajax.
you.
Shout out to all you guys that commented, Buster's Garage as well. Don't want to leave you out. Thank you for joining, and everybody else that was able to just join in on the fun. We had such
Oh,
a
yeah.
fun time just going back with these 90s toys and our big announcement, of course. So again, be sure to check that out. But that'll about do it here, unless I don't see any more comments. So we'll go ahead and wrap things up then. So, like we always say, though, here at Mustaches and Coffees, don't bash the stash.
So for the Depresso.
Goodbye, everybody.